What's up? It's your boy Donovan, and welcome on into art vlog number 28. This week we've got two assignments to work on. The first is going to be a polygonal portrait, a low poly portrait, and the second is going to be a set of icons. We're going to start off with the portrait. This one's going to be a self-portrait. Here's an example of what the assignment is supposed to look like. This is a low poly portrait of Jack Nicholson by artist Paul Duard, and this is where we'll be taking our inspiration from today. The first step in this process is going to be drawing our polygons on top of the reference image. I'm just using the pen tool to separate out different little blocks, making sure they're all connected and touching together so that I can later go back in and add the color. The shapes of my polygons really depended on the area that I was kind of tracing out. In more detailed areas, you can see the polygons get smaller and more concentrated. And in less detailed areas or areas where there's less shadows and highlights and everything, it's just less detailed. You'll see that I use much bigger polygons. Moving on into the coloring process. Since all of my polygons were closed shapes, all I had to do was select each one and then use the eyedropper tool to drop one of the colors that was inside of the polygon shape to use that as the fill. So I'm taking the colors directly from the reference image. I'm not picking those colors out myself using the color wheel. I really like how it started to come together when I added the color. I was a little iffy about the process in the beginning. But here's what it looked like, and there's the reference image after the first day of work. The first day, I realized I had some gaps between my polygons in the face, so when I went through and made my final iteration of the project, I had to fix all of that. And here you go, here's that one. This is the completed low poly portrait. Project number 2 is going to be a set of personal icons. So first I decided on a theme for my icons. I chose to go with night and day because that's sort of the aesthetic that I go with for all of my art and all of my creative endeavors. I wrote out a list for both day and night of objects and things that remind me of those themes. And then I went ahead and doodled a couple of those items that I had put on the list just to get like a quick idea of how I might translate these forms into an icon design. And I'm working with Procreate here first. When I move into Illustrator, I just start with some of the simpler items on my list. I have a bunch of artboards set up, but then I realized I have a lot of versions of icons that I want to try out, so I'm going to put multiple on each artboard. And that's what you're going to see me doing. I start with an apple, but you're going to see like 4 or 5 or 6 different versions of an apple. In each iteration of the icons, I make very slight adjustments to the designs, but they're big enough adjustments to me to make a difference in the overall feel of the icon itself. When I think of the theme for my icons, night and day, I wanted to go with an aesthetic that was very similar to mine, very preschool, very kindergarten, very lighthearted, very cartoon, very innocent, simple. Easy to look at, easy to digest, natural. I think of outside, I think of playgrounds. And specifically for my night-themed icons, I think of outer space, moon, stars. I think of the city, less or more so than I think of nature. Asteroids, shooting stars. For this icon assignment, we were tasked with only using black and white. Next week, we're going to be trying to add some color to these things. So I left a lot of negative space within my icons for now, just so I can experiment with color later on. And here are my finished icons. I actually only had to turn in 6, but these are all of the icons that I made, so I could pick 6 good ones from out of these. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of these 2 assignments that I finished this week, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.